Janet, how was your
Hello.
day? How's it going?
Just a usual day, working,
Yeah,
training, just a normal
nice,
day.
nice. I guess first things first, you have a very big fight coming up on July 22nd, fighting for the interim atomweight Muay Thai title. So I guess first question is, how are you feeling now that the fight's a little over a month away?
Man, I'm excited. This is something that I've been waiting for. So yeah, can't wait to get back in there and show people what I got, how I've improved over the past year. So yeah, just very excited.
Amazing. Well, as a fan, I'm very excited too because, as you suggested, it has been a year since we've last seen you. So I mean, what have you been up to in the last year? Have you filled the time since we last saw you in the one championship circle?
Oh, just the usual. The way I always fill my time. Training, working, training, sleeping, eating. Yeah,
Good, good.
that's about it. So,
Right.
hopefully you guys get to see it like an improved JT, come July.
Well, that's a scary thought for your opponents. Before we get into that, how's the day job going? You're still able to juggle the day job with the training life?
Yeah, yeah, it's always a constant battle and challenge to do that, but, I'm able to do it. I just
Cool.
have to be more cognizant of, my recovery.
Let's talk about your opponent, Lara Fernandez. New to one championship, but she's accomplished some impressive things. Outside the organization. What do you know about her? What do you think about her?
She has a very, good traditional Muay Thai style. Um, I've seen her fight in IFMA, which is the same sort of tournament I've done before. I've seen her fight, some very, top level fighters too, as well, outside of, tournaments. I think she has very quick kicks. She's very good with responding with kicks, and she also has, um like I said, she has a nice, traditional Muay Thai style where she mixes in her elbows and her strikes, so I think it'll be a really good fight.
Cool, cool. And as I said, it is her one championship debut, whereas you're quite experienced in one championship in two different sports. Do you see that being a factor, just that you're so well acquainted with the one championship circle, and it'll be her first time making the walk in there?
I mean, I can't really speak for how how she feels or anything, but I think for me, it's like, coming back home. I've been waiting to get back in the circle, so, like I said, I'm excited and, I kinda know what to expect in terms of, like, the media and stuff leading up to it, so, I'm ready.
That darn media stuff. Yeah, it's the worst. Well, I can't wait to see you get
I'm
back in there.
learning I'm learning to like it.
Good, good. Well, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. I've interviewed you a few times before, and it's always a total joy to speak with you. So you and her will be fighting for the interim title. The undisputed title still belongs to Elisa Rodriguez. She's been out for a little while, giving birth to her first child. Have you gotten a sense, in the negotiations for this fight you have coming up, when she might be back? Like, do you expect to defend? Do you expect to unify the titles with her soon, or defend the interim title for a few times? Any sense of what's happening there?
I Like I said, I can't really speak for, what's going on with Alicia. I mean, giving birth, that'll do a number on your body. So, I understand that the recovery takes some time. So, yeah, I don't really know when the time frame would be, if I would be ending up, defending the interim title or, being able to fight for the title that she has. So, the hope is I'll get to fight Alicia too. I think she's also a great opponent as well, and I would like to have that opportunity.
Yeah, it would be just awesome to watch you two fight, especially, in those circumstances where you both have titles. You unifying the titles, that'd be very exciting. But you are content to kind of defend the interim title for a while if that's what it comes to?
Yeah, if it comes down to that, then yeah, of course. I
Cool,
mean,
cool.
you can't force somebody to fight if they're, if they're still recovering. And
Mhm.
I want the best version of Alicia. So, I'll be ready when she's ready.
Of course, if that fight happens, I hope we get the best versions of both of you because it would just be
Yeah.
an incredible matchup. Excuse me. Speaking of defending titles and the like, you are still the atomweight kickboxing champion, as I said. Why move into Muay Thai and fight for this interim title rather than defending the belt?
Um, well, I think it just kind of led into the Muay Thai area because I did get the title, so I wanted to kind of move into the Muay Thai area again. Muay Thai was actually the first area that I entered into. Um, as I don't know if you know, but I tried to fight for the Muay Thai title as my first, fight into one
Mhm,
championship and lost that fight to Stamp. So then I started my quest towards the kickboxing one, and now that I, obtained that, I'm, trying to get back to my Muay Thai roots a little bit, but there is still plans to, defend the kickboxing title. It's
mhm.
not something that I've forgotten or, don't want to defend. It's definitely going to happen.
Now, I'm sure you knew this question was coming. I've got to ask you about Anissa Meksen. She's been very vocal lately about you and about your title. What do you think of her and the two wins she's had in one championship? Does she deserve a title shot?
I mean, I do think Anissa is one of the top level fighters, and I do believe that she brings up the level of competition in our division, which is exactly what we want because that'll raise the whole level of competition of the whole weight group, and it only makes us better. So I think she's a good addition to the one roster.
When you hear her accuse you of being scared to fight you, I mean, does that bother you?
I mean, I can't control what other people say or what other people think. I can only control what I do and my own actions and my own thoughts. So, I mean, that's that.
Mhm. For the sake of absolute clarity, once and for all, you are willing to fight her. It's just a question of when and the details.
Yes, yes, of course, of course.
Okay, cool.
I like I said, I think she brings up the level of competition, and that's what we want for one championship. We want to fight the best, be the best.
Absolutely. This division is really heating up both in kickboxing and Muay Thai. Is it possible that would you be willing to defend your interim title in Muay Thai against Anissa if you were to win this upcoming fight?
Yeah, in either sport.
Cool, cool. Well, let's switch gears a little bit. I wanted to ask you a bit about Jacky Puntan, who, of course, just also competed for a title and one championship. She gave a valiant effort, but in the end, it didn't go her way. You two are, very close friends and training partners. What was your assessment of her performance in that fight?
And first of all, like I'm proud of her performance, win or lose. I'm proud of all the determination and the hard work that she put in to get there. Um, of course, it was heartbreaking to see that happen. But I thought on the outside she was doing well. She was defending the punches and being able to throw her body shots, her kicks. Um, I think where there was a little bit of challenge was when the distance got closer. And man, she's a very tall girl.
She is, yeah.
When Jackie usually does like the hip bar and the clinch, I'm not tall enough or long enough to be able to reach and still punch her, but and she was able to get get her hits in that clinch. So I think in sort of like the close distance is where you know Jackie had her challenges, and I think that's where she won won that fight.
Mhm.
I think on the outside, Jackie was, in my opinion, was doing better.
Yeah, it was a very competitive fight, regardless of the outcome. I've spoken to Jackie since then, and she's, totally undeterred, already
Oh
talking
yeah,
about the rematch. Uh, do you get the sense that, she's in a good headspace and,
oh
will be
yeah,
stronger when she gets back in there?
yeah. She's back in the gym training with me every single day. So I think it fired her up even more. So, and I think she's coming. She's had time to look over the tape and figure out where she needs to improve. So you're
Mhm.
going to see an even better Jackie next time.
Have you two discussed the fight at all? Is that the kind of thing you banter about in the gym, the past fights and, what she might do better, or is that sort of in the past now?
Um, I mean, I like after the fight, I've texted her, while she was still out in Singapore. um, but I think we're past that point of, assessing and evaluating. I think we're at the point of let's get better and see what we can do.
You guys definitely make each other better. I mean, that's abundantly clear. How valuable is it to have someone like her in the gym? Like, how much do you improve having someone like that in the gym with you?
Oh yeah, I mean, her and there's other fighters at the gym that definitely helped me level up. And without them, I wouldn't be where I am. So shout out to my teammates from Boxing Works.
It's a great squad over there. Speaking of people you know well, I wanted to ask you about Stamp Fairtex's fight with Angela Lee. Now, of course, that was over in MMA, but you have fought Stamp twice in two different sports. You know her as well as anybody, really. What did you think of her performance in that MMA title fight? Obviously, she did very well with her striking in the first round, and then things sort of unraveled from there. But what did you think of the performance she gave in that one?
I mean, I thought she did well. I mean, Angela just has that grit. She has that determination that no matter what happens, she's gonna figure out a way, and she found her way. It's amazing to see. But both of those girls, are very skilled, and, it was definitely a good matchup, and I'm sure it's probably not the last time you're gonna see those 2 together.
Yeah, it was an incredible fight. Do you think you'll see Stamp again at some point? You know, it sort of sounds like she's interested in coming back into the striking arts, the super series side of things. Is that a matchup you're anticipating? You guys have some history to settle.
Yeah, yeah. No, she's a great opponent, I like her as a person too, but yeah, she also helped me level up as well as an opponent and challenged me to get better, so, our last I mean, the kickboxing fight that we had was a pretty close fight, so yeah, that's not out of the realm of possibilities.
Mhm. Well, that's certainly very exciting to think about as a fan. You clearly have a lot of exciting options on the table now. The next challenge on the horizon is this fight with Lara coming up next month. Now, I know you're the picture of class, Janet, but is there any particular way you see this going? Do you have a prediction for this one?
There's always that question about prediction.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
what can I say?
all I can say is, I imagine this fight where I have my hands raised at the end, but uh, without getting too much into my game plan, like I plan to, you know, utilize my strengths with my footworks and my timing to
Mhm.
make sure I get out on top.
Cool, cool. Well, last question for you before I let you get back to your evening over there. I know you've had a long day. You mentioned you want to get your hand raised. Of course, that's the intention every time. But if you pull it off this time, you'll be a two sport champion. I mean, that's very cool under any circumstances. How is that going to feel for you?
Like I said, it'll be a dream come true for me. I saw, Stamp do it. So it was, ever since then, I was like, man, this is something that I want to.